guys, Turret here, bringing you a 1v1 today. We are on Lost Glider, playing a few days. Spawning in the north, we have Odeng 101. Playing as OKW, and his loadout is Luftwaffe Ground Forces, Breakthrough and Firestorm. Currently about rank 200 as OKW. In the south, we have Cat as Soviets, who has Soviet Industry, Tank Hunter and Shock Rifle Frontline. So none of these, I suppose, like full meta, but as Soviets you can play just about any commander and do just fine. You're going to see some Maxim action here straight away from Cat. Cat currently about rank 60 as Soviets. Interesting to see though they didn't go for another engineer as we used to see. The extra bit of capping power in the early game. He's putting down some wire onto that door of the garrison, but I was just going to... Oh, you don't really need two pieces of wire there. Unless you want to go for that traditional wire trap, which is quite good on this, and it looks like that didn't even block the door either. Yeah, that's unfortunate. So by going for this kind of wire, you can block the person from getting in from this door if you don't block both sides. I covered this in micro tips, one of the early ones, maybe around 4. So look those up if you want to get the lowdown on how to wire doors on buildings correctly. Different types of wire for different doors. It's a bit too much to all explain in one cast. Well, things are going on. Odeng 101 going for a second Stern Pioneer squad. There are quite a few close quarters engagements happening that do happen on this map, especially around here. So you may be able to find some good spots to make use of them. Also interesting to note, Cat hasn't connected his cutoff, and that's led to a massive map control advantage for Odeng 1. Also that early retreat from the combat engineer, and not going for that combat engineer, second combat engineer, definitely hurt his early game map control situation. Going for 4 Maxims, so this is Von Ivan ESL levels of Maxim spam here. Of course, since those days they did receive a few nerfs, slight manpower increase, build time increase. So yeah, they don't come out as fast as they used to, and they are a bit more expensive. It'll be interesting to see how Odeng 1 tries to counter this. ISGs can be pretty effective on this map, not the largest map, so he's got his tech truck going up now. So if he camps a couple of ISGs here, he'll be able to reach most of the map. It's on these smaller maps that infantry support guns really shine. This one, like Feynmanville, these are smaller size ones. Maxim pumping away at long range. Finally refaces this Maxim, but then he gets flanked, but luckily this one covers his flank. So it's a retreating squad, and now the Maxim's just suppressing squads, slowly advancing across the map, turning the map control situation around. I think what actually going for Firestorm, so that's what he's going to do with his double Stern Pioneer. He's going to go for some Flamers. A lot of heavy cover on this map. I mean, look at all this heavy cover in the center here, and a few critical garrisons.
Soviet HQ now includes a field hospital.
So let's see how the Firestorm goes on this map. Problem is still, he's got to get close enough to those buildings to get the flamers cooking, and it's quite hard when you're facing off against this many Maxims, just dodging them all, especially when you don't have anything particular giving you extra vision, beacon planes, flares, anything like that. Spotting scopes can be hard to dodge this much suppression. One of the keys is making use of the buildings, like jumping in, getting the extra bit of sight before you advance. So Odeng now making a bit of an error, floating up 600 manpower. This is a bit poor. He himself could go for an MG34. I know that's going to lose in a 1v1 against the Maxim, but you know, put it in a building like here, it could be suppressing this squad, winning this engagement. Obscure. Oh, he's going for a flak half track. Well, there you go. Oh, flak half track. It's an okay unit. The problem with it is how little damage it does to garrisons. Like the maximum inside a building can usually just about 1v1 a flak half track. Which is something they're addressing in the balance mod. They're changing the garrison damage multiplier. It used to be back in the old days that when the flak half track would hit units of buildings, it would damage every single model in the building equally. But obviously that was pretty broken. It led to squads going down incredibly fast. So now they changed it so you can only damage one model at a time. So now it does just about nothing. So I think they're fixing that by changing the garrison damage multiplier. So instead of doing 0.25 for the full damage. It's kind of like a happy medium between those two options. Well, he got his fuel cache down, but I don't know if it's going to stick around for too long. Flak half track's on the scene. Looks like it's going to clear out this Maxim B. Unable to cap that though, because of this. No, gets away. That was kind of lucky, but yeah, it wouldn't be able to be stolen with that base MG there. But I'm kind of surprised he's not sticking around with his flak half track to kill the fuel cache. He's trying to do it with his flamethrower. It's going to take a long time. And as I was saying, it looks like he's heading over to fight this Maxim, but flak half track's not that good against Maxims and garrisons. Ooh, but actually, what he's doing here is he's drawing fire, allowing his flamethrowers to come around the side. I don't know. Will they get spotted by this garrison and suppressed? Probably eventually, but should be able to clear this out now. At the very worst, before he gets suppressed and pinned. In fact, could be the end of this Maxim. No, this squad gets pinned just in the nick of time before that final flame burst came off, but still in danger of going down to this flak half track. And he's bringing up his Zis now. But it looks like that's going to be the end of his Maxim. He's jumping out. No.
One of our machine guns has been silenced.
Not quite in the nick of time. Now flak half track could be in trouble if he doesn't react in time to the Zis. Here he goes. Here he goes. Ooh. Close call. But he manages to get away there. That was 2/3 of the way to Vet 1. And that's when it becomes a lot more survivable, getting access to the concealing smoke. When we use attack ground is a bit more tricky than just the auto fire. It allows it to get away from a lot more of those situations, especially if you're up against guards, which we're not going to see in this matchup, but you know, being able to smoke out of the button, critical to your flak half track survival, especially when guards can just about 1v1 flak half track as it is if they're behind heavy cover. Definitely can if they're in a garrison. Okay, so we can see from the movement of his flak half track here, not using the attack move, instead just moving his flak half track around, so kind of losing out a bit of that setup time where you can cheat, which I also covered in micro tips and tricks. Maybe around the mid, maybe around 6, but that's being removed from the next patch. But yeah, you got to make use of it whilst you still can. Maximize your chance of winning in these You want to keep your rank up.
Enemy forces
Well, a lot of
are
Maxims there
attempting to
forced to
capture our
retreat.
territory.
Odeng Wong's doing a pretty good job of drawing fire with squads, then coming in with the flamethrowers from different angles, clearing out those Maxims from the garrisons. And maybe Cat needs to be a bit more aware of the strategy, maybe a bit more diligent with his Maxim direction rotations.
We are losing territory.
Direction they're facing, and then
Light tank ready for orders.
perhaps would have a bit more success. We've got a Raketin in the garrison. And we've got a mine going down, so he's prepared for the inevitable T-70. But still could do a lot of damage. Especially when squads are this far forwards. Long retreat pass. Usually spell death against T-70, and yeah, he's just retreating everything because, as I was saying, with those long retreat pass, he could... Oh no, he's got the forward retreat point unlocked. I missed that. So yeah, not that long retreat point now. I thought he's going to have to go all the way back to base, and that's a really nice path for the T-70 to be able to chase you down on. Especially when there are a few roads you have to cross, and negative cover can hurt your chances of escape, and help that T-70 just speed down on the chase. Speed down on the chase. Got some mice going down for Cat, but his map control, all those Maxims continuously forced off and losing one Maxim. A bit of a rough state. And this is where perhaps that second combat engineer could come in handy, doing the capping. Extra bit of capping power. Seems like he's just having a bit of trouble capping up the map. T-70 going to the flak half track. The kid is still in the garrison. I was surprised. Yeah, okay, there he goes. Now he's in range. T-70 not reacting. Is this going to be the end of the T-70? Oh, the Raketin misses! Flak half track's still alive though. Maxim also gets out of there alive, but he's got the stern pioneers there to repair on the front lines. Maxim gets flanked, so close call, man. That probably very easily could have been dead T-70. I mean, this thing though is quite a small target size, so at the very edge of it, his tank gun's range, pretty high chance of missing it. Oh, this is trouble. Oh. Okay, so he's going for a forward flak base, and I don't really like this positioning. The one thing that he's got perhaps going in his favour is that there's a bit of elevation here, so anti-tank guns trying to shoot up this hill could have a bit of trouble, but I feel like we're going to see this flak base getting killed with that positioning there. Looks like he's trying to cover the fuel point, maybe. I don't know. It's not even fully covering the fuel. And it's not covering his forward retreat point. So this is a very bad position, I feel. Oh no, he's going to lose this. Surely. Oh! Pretty much 2 hit there. Oh, he's going to lose this too. Oh my god, the demo. Oh, it was looking so good for it, and now he's not smoking. Yeah, there's the smoke. Switches to prioritized vehicles. This squad here needs to come around this way to get the Faust off. Here it comes now, a bit late. Gotta get the Faust off, but oh, the Faust bricked. Oh no, the Faust bricked. I don't know if you guys saw it. Maybe it connected with the wreck. Oh, that is just horrible luck. And Odeng Wong, I mean, he's off to such a strong start. Look, Cat's already down to 222 VPs. But I mean, losing those 2 vet Stern Pioneer squads, I mean, now he's going to have more trouble clearing the garrisons. He's lost his flak half track, so all of a sudden, he's on Struggle Street. That being said, he's still got quite a lot of fuel income. It's not too far away from Panzer 4. But looks like Cat's going for a second Zis, so using it, Panzer 4 gets 2 Zis can actually be very challenging. Most Panzer 4 to be a bit more mobile. And of course, Panzer IV is pretty bad moving accuracy. And also the OKW Panzer IV being so expensive and extra bit of armor doesn't really count for that much against as this. It does give you a chance to bounce, but probably not to justify its price. Okay, now Cat's gone for a second squad engineers. I think this is a good decision, especially if he wants to get a minesweeper himself, and we do know that there is a mine down on the field. And this one here that never got cancelled. And if you're facing off against two squads of Stern Pioneers, two mines should be on your mind. Because they have twice as many chances planting them. In fact, perhaps even more than twice as many chances. The problem with Stern Pioneers is they have to fill so many things, you know, they have to do repairs, they have to plant mines, they have to sweep. And sometimes between all that, maybe the mine planting falls behind. Being able to split the duties between two squads can really come in handy. Of course, he went for double flamers, so minesweeping was never really going to happen. And Cat, realizing that, you know, made full use of that, using the demo charges, using the mines, taking advantage of his opponent's inability to sweep mines. And Odeng Wong floating up 1,000 manpower now, going for the Panzer IV. He needs to get Stern Pioneers. I'm surprised he hasn't built some Stern Pioneers with the sweep after using it so badly to that demo charge. That will be top on my list of things to do.
Enemy forces capturing supply sector.
And yeah, doubles this. Not too far away from this tier 4 tech structure. I feel like push may be coming on. And this is the situation you want to have when trying to push your opponent's tier 4 tech. You want to have probably two sources of suppression. You might be able to get away with one if you've got a wide arc of fire on it. And two anti-tank guns, and that way you can take down tier 4 tech very, very quickly.
Ready for action.
Suppression can stop any infantry from forcing away anti-tank guns. And of course anti-tank guns can stop vehicles from forcing away or anything. So yeah, generally works out quite well. Could this be the end of the T-70? Oh, he gets the self-repair just in the nick of time, allowing the T-70 to escape. Excellent, yeah, now hopping out, thanks to that incendiary grenade. Got another demo charge. Wrong positioning for it though. Should be more on this side or over here. Might still be able to get the wipe though. Okay, so here come the anti-tank guns, and that is shock rifle frontline from Cat. So he's trying to use attack ground. He's getting too close though with this anti-tank gun. It looks like the flak bait's also getting flummoxed by the terrain changes there. What's this Panzer IV doing? Going straight into the base. Who's this? Oh my god, so Odeng Wong really needs... Oh, I mean, he's going to have access to the 200mm rocket barrage, but yeah, he kind of needs a walking Stuka. But he's doing nothing to stop his Schwer HQ from going down. He's just got his squads over here, just not up to anything. He's going to lose his flak base. I mean, I hate to say it, but I saw this coming a mile away, right? As soon as I saw this getting planted there, I saw it going down to exactly this kind of push. There's the 200mm rocket barrage. Basically just like a Stuka barrage for munitions cost. Here's that one of the Zispas too late. I mean, he only just hit 9 CPs. I know that now he's at 10, but... Or was it 10? Either way, he only just hit the CP requirements for that. So yeah, there's not much he could do. Just a massive setback in terms of fuel, and now he's got to kill these. He has to stick around and kill these Zis. Okay, there goes one. Perhaps he should maybe steal this one. It's slow to kill the second one. Here comes the third Zis. I mean, this is one thing you don't expect your opponent to do, is have 3 Zis. He's having trouble hitting it mid-range. Team weapons do have quite small target sizes. Can make it quite hard to kill them.
Indicates the enemy is left with only 75 points.
Or in the case of US forces 50 cal, you can't actually target them when they're decreed, but you know, that's just a quirk. Mine gets found out there. Taking down 2 models. Now we've got some shock troops. Pretty good on this map, I think. But oh man, look at that. 50 VPs left for Cat. He is in deep, deep trouble. This is what I was talking about. Getting a machine gun chucking into a garrison can really help prevent the advance of the Maxims, and that's what we're seeing right here. So now it's capping in the center. Got a couple of STG Volks trying to oh my god, we have a Hetzer. Oh, this is a terrible unit.
We have been reduced to 25 points. Failure is not rewarded.
It's going to force away these shock troops. Maybe if you're lucky enough to have that reload doors in there, has a 50% faster reload or something. You can't buy from store, you can only get it from a drop. Probably because it's so broken. Then it's worthwhile using a Hetzer. Here comes the Zis. 2 Zis once again. Oh wow, that's his own mine there. Detonated by his own T-70. Just gets cleared. Here comes the Rakit trying to deal with the T-70. Which no longer has access to the self-repair because it's on cooldown, so... Oh, now he jumps into this garrison. What's he doing? There's no windows in this direction, so he couldn't shoot at the T-70. It looks like he's going to lose both the squads in there to this flamethrower. He gets out with the Raketin, but he loses his STG Volks, and just like that, Odeng Wong is just completely falling to pieces here. He's got 1 squad of infantry left. He's floating 1,200 manpower. What is he up to? Looks like he cleared out the Maxim on the far VP. But 17 VPs left. Cat's in big trouble, but Odeng Wong is just... What is he doing here? And why did he go for a Hetzer? Oh my god. Perhaps he thought he could close out the game right there, but it's really worked out for him. Oh, T-70's gone probably take down the squad. There it goes. T-70 goes down though, Vet 3 T-70. You can see Cat extremely close to the IS-2. Oh, but there goes the hits as well. To the stolen Rakit and the Zis. Oh my god, look at this. Odeng Wong, 1,400 manpower, nothing. He's got 1 unit, and he can't even micro enough to rebuild some squads. Whoopsie daisy. That is pretty poor. And here comes the IS-2. This is just going to steamroll the Panzer IV. That's really the problem with losing your tier 4. Now you can't build the Jagdpanzer IV to counter this. He really stands a little chance of mixing it up. The IS-2 just has so much better penetration. And now obviously a lot more health. So it's just going to steamroll this Panzer IV. Panzer IV using the Blitz. Should be able to get to safety here. No, he's going to just spin around. Probably a pathing issue here. Probably sending an order for the tank to go too far away. So decide to turn around rather than reverse. That's what happens when you're a bit, a bit lazy with your orders. In that situation, if he did a reverse order to a distance far away, he would have kept reversing that direction. But instead, just doing a right click in that direction, get his tank to turn around. I know that they changed the pathfinding to make it, a bit easier for players to be able to use reverse without having to use the reverse button. But in that case, you got to see why it's a good idea to just use the reverse button anyway. We use a Panzerfaust there for really just about no reason. You'd have to use 3 or 4 to actually snare the IS-2. Oh, and the demo charge on the VP. That's probably going to be game. Just lost 2 squads right there. Yeah, Cat calling it. Even though he's on 17 VPs, he's feeling confident.
We have more conscripts at our disposal.
And we got to see the call-ins once again. Cat being able to skip tier 4, go straight for that IS-2. Really saved his bacon. If he, if he had ticked and gone for a T-34, which is, similar amount of fuel to the IS-2, a little bit less, but I mean, this could be a completely different game. Obviously, the T-34 versus a Panzer IV matchup is a lot more favourable for the OKW player. Wow, these flak bases can try and shoot through the hedges. Well, we've got another Hetzer. Got a Raketen heading out in this direction. Looks like he's going to try to do a capping over here, but there's a machine gun over here, which is, I suppose, what the Hetzer is going to help with. But Odeng will probably need, and I'm not even joking, 3 Raketens to try and fight this IS-2. Just from the amount of bounces, and you got to expect that one of them is probably going to be wiped at some point. And as I was saying, at this stage of the game, capping fuel, capping resources, Odeng's probably not going to ever get enough fuel to get another tank, so it's kind of a waste. Should probably just try to do go for the VP cap. Maybe he's trying to do here with the Hetzer. He's not bringing up his Raketen and support. So this IS-2 is going to be able to chase down the Hetzer and knock it out. And this is where having Maxims is so useful, covering all these VPs, denying the cap. Here comes the Raketen now, setting up. There's one Raketen, and it misses. It misses! At that range against such a large target as the IS-2, that is just woeful. Speaking of misses, IS-2 point blank misses on the Hetzer. Just a cap in the centre, not going to happen. Maxim on the case. And yeah, there we go. Raketen gets cleared. His squad's coming out here, running to a Maxim, then running back. Oh, picks up those engineers though. I don't know. If he can get 2 squads out here, recapture these Raketens, maybe make a push out on this side, bait the IS-2 over a mine or something, maybe set up an ambush with 3 Raketens. So probably his only way back into this game. And no, so let's call quits. Well, Cat got off a really slow start, as I talked about, not going for the extra squad. Combat engineers really hurt his map control in the early game. But then Odeng Wong, in that sequence of events when he just lost everything over here, lost his flak half track, 2 flame stern pioneers, just never really recovered from that. And then building his tier 4 over here. Just a horrible idea. Wasn't even covering much. And yeah, building it this close to your opponent's base as well. I mean, they can just like, oh, it's just so bad. And probably cost him the game. Maybe if he still had his flak base, could have built Jagdpanzer 4 to try and counter that IS-2, but didn't have that option because he lost it. Well, I'll wrap on that, guys. If you'd like your game to be cast by me, details are in the video description below. Otherwise, I'll catch you all for the next thrilling installment. Goodbye and good luck.